Right, hello guys. So today's session we are going to be discussing supply and demand. From the previous session, I talked about POI, which is point of interest, and your point of interest, which is a key level. Okay, you need to look for what is called the supply and demand. Okay, that is what make your trade to be valid. That is what to help you to take precise entry whenever you are taking a trade. So supply and demand is very, very important. And if you follow my previous video where I talked about how you can use this POI inside a POI, which simply means in your POI, you need to find another POI, which is where your supply and demand level is. Okay. Now, if you understand supply and demand in our real life, in real life scenario, you see, supply and demand is something that occurs every day. So why is supply and demand? Why is it so important? Okay. Now you might have different definition of supply and demand, but understanding the real purpose of supply and demand. Take for example, if the price of commodity is high, okay, the price of commodity is high, use let's say a price of commodity is high, it's expensive, it's something that a lot of people will not able to get their hands on. You see that the demand of that product, all right, will be less, and then it's going to be more expensive. But in a situation whereby a quantity of a product is surplus, anybody can get it, it's cheap, it's not expensive, you see that the price of it is going to come down. All right, take for example fuel scarcity. Okay, the demand is very high, it make the price to go up. Okay, why we have something like let's say if there's enough fuel in Nigeria, there's enough fuel for everybody, the supply is so much. Okay, the supply is so much, you see that the price is going to start dropping. But if something is expensive, it's rare, you see that the value will start going what? The value will start going up, which means the price will continue to go up. So that is what is supply. So when it comes to forex trading, your supply level, which is a key level, okay, is a point whereby there are so much order that has been placed there that if price get to this particular point, if price get to this particular key level, it's going to start dropping. Okay, it's going to start dropping. And the demand level that you use is that if price, there are places whereby the market maker, the institutional traders, they have put their orders on. It simply means if price gets to this particular key level, this particular point of interest, all right, the price is going to start going up. So at that point, you see that people buy. Okay, at that point, you see that people buy. That is the point of interest. That is a key level where price need to start going up from, because the demand is high. Okay, and for supply is a key level whereby there are so much orders on for price to tap in and then to start selling. I believe this is clear enough. So I'm going to be explaining it practically in in our I'm going to be explaining it practically using a chart. Okay, so let's say you have something like this. This is your advanced market structure. Okay, depends on the strategy you used, depending on the model you trade. Oh. So we have something like this. All right. Okay. So this is your structural liquidity. There's something I want you to do for me. If you are just watching this video for the first time, you need to watch the advanced market structure. You can easily check the playlist. the playlist where I name the advanced market structure. Okay, you can easily watch everything there. Start from market structure before you get to this point. That is what is going to make you to understand much better. Okay, that is what's going to help you understand much better. Now, like I earlier said, this is our structure. Okay, now this is our POI. This is our POI. Alright. Inside this POI, there's a key level. There's another point of interest where we need to have our supply level, in which if price get to this point, when market maker institutional trader have put their order, okay, let's say this is our supply level. Okay, the last bullish candle that is yet to be unmitigated in this POI. Okay, if price get to that point, alright, if price get to this point, it's going to sell from here. Okay, it's going to sell from here. So that is what I mean. Okay, and then same thing for when we want to buy, which is our demand level, the last bearish candle that is yet to be unmitigated. Okay, so for a clearer understanding of this, I'm going to be showing you practical example of it and what you need to consider for a valid supply and a valid demand. Okay, so let's check V100S, and let me show you something real quick. Mhm. Okay, here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. I was supposed to take a trade on this pair earlier, but I don't know what happened. I missed the trade. V100S. Minute, please. I think what I'm looking for is not here. V100. Should be on V100S. There's a trade I was supposed to take earlier. I want to show you guys a practical explanation of what is supply and demand. Okay, okay. I think we should look for another pair. I want to check V100S. Don't know why. This is V100S. What's happening? There's a sell I want to. Oh, I invited the skill earlier. Okay, okay. Sorry for the delay. Right, so let me show you. Let me show you a practical explanation of what supply and demand is. Okay, so this is it. This is it. So from the rules of the advanced market structure, I believe you understand where your sweep is, your structural liquidity, your supply and your demand level. So this is what I'm going to do right now. This, if you look closely, you can see that we have our there is a sweep of liquidity in this place. There is a sweep of liquidity here, right? We have our protected high here, okay? We have our structural liquidity at this point, okay? And then your supply level, whenever you want to sell, is the last is the bullish candle in your POI, okay, that is yet to be unmitigated. Unmitigated simply means another candle has not yet tapped it, okay. So if you can see, this is your POI. The whole of this place is your POI. Okay, from your structural liquidity to your protected high is called your POI, right? It's called your POI. Now, let me take this off. We're focusing on looking for our supply and our demand level. So if you check the last bearish candle before the massive push up, before the massive sell off, is our supply level. So this green candle here is our supply level. One of the things about supply level, this is where marketers, a lot of people have put their orders on. Okay, after this liquidity has been taken out, one price tap into your supply level to give you a confirmation. Okay, confirmation for a sell. You can have a bullish engulfing, you can have a shooting star, you can have a weekend, you can have different. If you study confirmation candle for sell and for buy, you should be able to understand what confirmation candle is all about. You see, price came to this point, this supply level, okay, tap into it, give confirmation and then sell off. So there are some time whereby price will come all the way here and start doing as if it's selling. Then in your mind you might be thinking you've missed the trade. But when it comes to that, I don't even panic about it, okay? Because all I'm waiting for is price must tap into my supply level, give confirmation. Once you give confirmation, I'll take my trade. That is how I trade basically. And once you do that, it starts selling. You can see that price sold off and then smashes TP. This is what it does. Sold off and smash TP. This is exactly what happened here. I believe you can see clearly. Let's tap into our supply level. So whenever you want to sell, you look out for supply level in your POI. Okay. And whenever you want to buy, you look out for demand level in your POI. So let's look for this advanced market structure for a sale. There are a lot of things that make this sale to be valid based on top-down analysis, and I'm still going to be explaining what top-down analysis is and how you can get a clear directional bias, know when to sell, know when the trend is trending, know when to stay away from the trend. It's as simple as that, okay? I'm going to be explaining all of that. I'm going to be teaching you all of that so that you understand directional bias, how you can get your supply and demand, and so much more. Okay, so let's check another pair. Let's check another pair. Now let's look for a sell. Sorry, let's look for a buy. Okay. Now I think I have a setup earlier in this place. Okay. So what can you see from this point? What can you see from this point? You can do your analysis on the 15 minutes, on the 10 minutes, on the 30 minutes. But whenever you want to look out for your supply and demand level, always come to the 5 minutes. Okay. I'm going to give you three factors that make a supply level to be valid. Okay. You are going to write that down. So before that, let me show you this. Okay, you see, first of all, we have our sweep. This is our sweep. Secondly, we have our structural liquidity. So after the sweep, this is our break of structure. This is an A plus setup. And then our second break of structure. And then our protected low. So the whole of this place is our POI. Remember, if you put your entry at this point in this POI, your drawdown is going to be so much whenever price tap into this place. So the best way for you to do to have your precise entry is to have your supply and demand. So whenever you want to sell, okay, you look out for your supply and demand in your POI, which is the last, which is the bullish candle in that POI that is yet to be unmitigated. Mitigated means candle that has not been tapped by another candle. Okay, and whenever you want to buy, you look out for your demand candle, the bearish candle in your POI that is yet to be unmitigated. That is the candle you need to look out for. Okay, so right now what you are going to do, right now is to go down to the 5 minute candle, and then let's look out for our bearish candle that is yet to be unmitigated. Okay, I need to pay close attention at this point. Okay, now this is the candle. This candle is yet to be unmitigated. This red last bearish candle, you see, need to be mitigated. This is it. This candle is already mitigated. Why? Because this green candle tapped into this red candle before going up. So this one has been mitigated already. Okay, that one has been mitigated already. One moment, please. So what we are going to do now is wait for price to come into this POI, tap into it, and then buy off. Okay, so this is what it does. Once you come here, give us this confirmation. Okay, tap into this POI, tap into the supply level, but it didn't tap in very well. And then it gave us this first confirmation. Alright, this bullish engulfing candle. Alright, it gave us this confirmation, and then it still came back. Okay, and also give us another. Alright, give us another one, and also still came back, give us another confirmation. Right, so once you take your trade here, once price get to this point, right, as price gets to this point, you just take your entry. Okay, if you are not stacking, if you are trading conservatively, all this drawdown will not take you out. You see that regardless of it, price is still giving confirmation inside this demand level. Okay, and it was able to sell, to buy, it was able to buy off. Okay, Now this is where price has bought from, and the expected target is supposed to be in this point, and price has already done almost 70% to full TP. Okay, that is how you trade the advanced market structure using supply and demand in your POI. Okay, so now there are three factors that make the supply and demand to be valid. So three factors to consider, right? Number one, number one factor you need to consider for a valid supply and demand, okay, is, you need to write this down. Number one, it's your supply and demand must be inside your key level POI, or inside your point of interest. If your supply and demand is outside your point of interest, it's considered to be invalid. And whenever you take a trade like that, it might stop you out. Secondly, the secondly, your supply and demand candle must be on the 5 minute time frame. The reason why I say 5 minute time frame is because that is what I've used over time and is more valid. I don't use 10 minutes, I don't use 15 minutes. Even if I analyze on the 1 hour, I use the 5 minute candle, and the 5 minute confirmation is what I use also. So your supply and demand candle must be on the 5 minutes. And thirdly, must be unmitigated. Okay. So this is it. The three factors for you to consider for that your supply and demand level is valid is, it must be inside your key level or POI. Your supply and demand level must be inside your POI. Supply and demand candle must be on the 5 minutes. Okay. So the bullish candle for your sell and the bearish candle in your POI for a buy must be on the 5 minute time frame. And lastly, it must be unmitigated. That is what will give you the valid entry. All right. So that is what we are going to. So lastly, before um, we go, I'll do another example. I'll show you something else so you could see. Is there any recent trade I've taken earlier? I think it should be more. So the rules of supply and demand is just for you to have a clear, a very good, perfect entry. A very good, perfect entry, and give you precision whenever you want to take a trade. Okay. So that is what you need. That is why you really need supply and demand so much. Okay. So uh let me look for another example. Let me look for another example. Okay. I can see a sale. Let me show you. Okay. This is a setup a for a buy. This is setup for a sale, sorry. then this is your sweep of liquidity is a protected high, right? This is your structural liquidity, which is used for continuation. This works every time. See, if you are watch, if you watch this video to this point, I want you to kindly subscribe to this channel and make sure you share this video to your friends that are forex trader or want to learn forex trading. Okay, as this is going to help you, it's also going to help them as well. So this is your setup here. This is your first break of structure, which make it to be valid structure. The first break of structure, and this is your second break of structure. Alright, that's the first break. This is the second break, and this is your POI. Your POI is from here to here. Okay, and if you look closely, I believe you can see your supply level inside this POI. Okay, you can see your supply level inside this POI. This is your supply level. The bullish candle that is yet to be unmitigated, which is inside your POI and on the 5 minute time frame. So this is it. And happened? What happened? When price got into this place, it tap into the supply level, give you your confirmation for a sell, which is the bearish engulfing candle. Because this red candle was engulfed by this red candle, that is what make it a bearish engulfing. For example, this red candle was engulfed by this green candle, it make it a bullish engulfing candle. So this is a confirmation for a buy. Why this is a confirmation for a sell? This is a confirmation for a sell. This is what make this candle to sell here. Okay, so this is what make it to sell here. And then what happened? Price sold off there. Sorry. Price sold off from this point and it smashes its target. Smashes its target. So this is it. I believe this is clear enough. How to use your supply level, how to use your demand level. So this is going to give you precision in your entry inside your POI. So you don't just jump into trade and you allow trade to stop here. Sometimes price will come to this POI to not give you confirmation. So you stay away from the market that day. When it come, it give you confirmation, you take your trade, mark your realistic take profit level, and then you make money from it. I believe this class worth something. So the next video I'm going to be explaining is confirmation entry, how you can use confirmation entry to get a good entry, and how to what to look out for in your confirmation entry, what to avoid, what not to avoid, and so on and so forth. So I believe you learned something from this, and this we've come to the end of this. So if you have any question regarding this supply and demand level, drop your question in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly subscribe. Let's build the community, and you can recommend this video to your friends, they should learn. So if you are watching this video for the first time, make sure you watch the market structure, the liquidity, the POI, and when you get to the supply and demand, it's going to be more easy for you. So I wish you guys the best of luck. Make sure you trade responsibly, apply risk management always. Okay, so I'll see you on the next one. Bye.